the Citizen Potawatomi Nation on May the 30th, 2019. This meeting is being taped for rebroadcast on the internet, and we'll have our invocation now. If we could bow our heads, please. I'm going to pray. Grandfather God, watch over everyone. Have pity on us and think peacefully of us. Amen. We are asking for a good life. Thank you for everything you have created. Jesus. Thank you for giving us your son, Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
We can have a roll call. Secretary Treasurer Trousdale.
Chairman Barrett.
Shoda.
Vice Chairman Capps.
Shoda.
Secretary Treasurer Trousdale. Shoda. Representative Bowden.
Shoda.
Representative Barrett.
Shoda.
Representative Whistler.
Shoda.
Representative Wesselhoff.
Shoda.
Representative Kraft.
Shoda.
Representative Smittlecoffer.
Shoda.
Representative Slavin.
Shoda.
Representative Eva Marie Carney.
Shoda.
Representative Bursaw.
Shoda.
Representative Lambert.
Shoda.
Representative Payne. Absent. Representative Johnson.
Shoda.
Representative Dave Carney.
Shoda.
15 present, 1 absent.
15 present, 1 absent. We have a quorum. At this point, George Wright, would you like to make the introductions right up here, if you would, please, in front of the camera?
I don't know what stand exactly.
There you are.
Okay, sorry. You're fine. Okay. Everyone, would like to introduce.
Move this way. Go ahead and stand in front of me. I don't mind.
I'm nervous, isn't it?
Say cheese.
These are partners from the former Silva firm. Mr. Silva, and they can talk to you a little bit more about how they're going to represent the tribe in some opioid litigation. So take it away.
Thank you very much. My name is Jim Sale, and thank you to the chairman and vice chairman.
The next item on the agenda is the minutes held on February the 28th, 2019, and then March 6th and 7th, 2019, and April 12th through 16 of 2019. If you could read those minutes, please, Secretary Treasurer Trousdale.
Minutes of the quarterly legislative meeting, February 28, 2019. Present Chairman Barrett, Vice Chairman Capps, Secretary Treasurer Trousdale, Representatives Barrett, Bursaw, Bowden, Dave Carney, Eve Marie Carney, Johnson, Kraft, Lambert, Payne, Smittlecoffer, Slavin, Wesselhoff, and Whistler. None were absent. Chairman Barrett called the meeting to order at 5:30 p.m. First item of business. Minutes from the legislative meeting held on November 29, 2018. Motion to approve minutes as read was made by Representative Smittlecoffer, second by Representative Slavin. Motion passed, 16 in favor, 0 opposed. Second item of business, minutes from the legislature meeting held on December 29, 2018. Motion to approve minutes as read was made by Representative Smittlecoffer, second by Representative Whistler. Motion passed, 16 in favor, 0 opposed. Third item of business, minutes from the legislative meeting held on February 7th, 2019. Motion to approve minutes as read was made by Vice Chairman Capps, seconded by Representative Bowden. Motion passed, 16 in favor, 0 opposed. Fourth item of business, ordinance 19-01-NR-OR-T40. Motion to approve to table ordinance 19-01-NR-OR-T40 was made by Representative Wesselhoff, seconded by Representative Barrett. Motion passed, 16 in favor, 0 opposed. Fifth item of business, resolution 19-36-NR. Motion to table resolution 19-36-NR was made by Representative Wesselhoff, seconded by Representative Kraft. Motion passed, 16 in favor, 0 opposed. Sixth item of business, resolution 19-37-LCOE. Motion to approve resolution 19-37-LCOE was made by Representative Smittlecoffer, seconded by Representative Lambert. Motion passed, 16 in favor, 0 opposed. Seventh item of business, resolution 19-38-LCOE. Motion to approve Resolution 19-38-LCOE was made by Representative Kraft, seconded by Representative Dave Carney. Motion passed, 16 in favor, 0 opposed. Eighth item of business, Resolution 19-39-TCNA. Motion to approve Resolution 19-39-TCNA was made by Representative Whistler, seconded by Representative Lambert. Motion passed, 16 in favor, 0 opposed. Ninth item of business, Resolution 19-40-TCNA. Motion to approve Resolution 19-40-TCNA was made by Representative Eva Marie Carney, seconded by Representative Dave Carney. Motion passed, 16 in favor, 0 opposed. 10th item of business, Resolution 19-41-TCNA. Motion to approve Resolution 19-41-TCNA was made by Representative Westhoff, seconded by Representative Lambert. Motion passed, 16 in favor, 0 opposed. 11th item of business, Resolution 19-42-TCNA. Motion to approve Resolution 19-42-TCNA was made by Representative Bowden, seconded by Representative Eva Marie Carney. Motion passed, 16 in favor, 0 opposed. 12th item of business, Resolution 19-43-JNPS. Motion to approve Resolution 19-43-JNPS as amended was made by Representative Smittelkofer, seconded by Representative Barrett. Motion passed, 16 in favor, 0 opposed. 13th item of business, Resolution 19-44-JNPS. Motion to approve Resolution 19-44-JNPS as amended was made by Representative Johnson, seconded by Representative Whistler. Motion passed, 16 in favor, 0 opposed. 14th item of business, Resolution 19-45-LCOE. Motion to approve Resolution 19-45-LCOE as amended was made by Representative Bursaw, seconded by Representative Smittelkofer. Motion passed, 16 in favor, 0 opposed. 15th item of business, adjournment. There being no further business before the legislature, motion to adjourn was made by Representative Smittelkofer, seconded by Vice Chairman Capps. Motion passed, 16 in favor, 0 opposed. The meeting adjourned at 7:05 p.m. on February 28, 2019.
Are there any additions, deletions, corrections, or discussion? Chair would entertain a motion to approve the minutes as read.
So moved.
Motion made by Representative Smittelkofer, seconded by Representative Lambert. Roll call, please.
Chairman Barrett.
Flanagan.
Vice Chairman Capps.
Sonegay.
Secretary Treasurer Trousdale. Koenig. Representative Bowden.
Sonegay.
Representative Barrett.
Konigay.
Representative Whistler.
Konigay.
Representative Wesselhoff.
Konigay.
Representative Kraft.
Sonegay.
Representative Smittelkofer.
Konigay.
Representative Slavin.
Konigay.
Representative Eva Marie Carney.
Sonegay.
Representative Bursaw.
Konigay.
Representative Lambert.
Sonegay.
Representative Johnson.
Konigay.
Representative Dave Carney.
Konigay.
15 in favor, 1 absent.
15 in favor, 1 absent is approved. Next is the minutes of the March 6th through 7th, 2019.
Citizen Potawatomi Nation Minutes Special Electronic Legislative Meeting, March 6th and 7th, 2019. Present, Chairman Barrett, Vice Chairman Capps, Secretary Treasurer Trousdale, Representatives Barrett, Bursaw, Bowden, Dave Carney, Eve Marie Carney, Johnson, Kraft, Lambert, Payne, Smittelkofer, Slavin, Wesselhoff, and Whistler. None were absent. Chairman Barrett called the meeting to order at 9:40 a.m. on March 6, 2019. First item of business, Resolution 19-46-APP. Motion to approve Resolution 19-46-APP was made by Representative Eve Marie Carney, seconded by Representative Whistler. Motion passed, 16 in favor, 0 opposed. Second item of business, adjournment. There being no further business for the legislature, motion to adjourn was made by Representative Payne, seconded by Representative Kraft. Motion passed, 16 in favor, 0 opposed. The meeting adjourned at 8:45 a.m., March 7th, 2019.
Are there any additions, deletions, corrections, or discussion?
I would like to know how we're doing with this. Ask John.
John, can you fill us in on how we're doing with that?
Here.
You need to unmute on your end.
I'm not muted. I wasn't muted.
There you go.
I've finalized what is for the visuals for the exhibit as much as I can. Now I've got to start working with one of the graphics folks down Shawnee to finalize the exhibit. And I think we're ready to turn it over to the company in New York that will produce the exhibits. I did meet with the commissioners on the 3rd of May, I believe it was, or the 13th of May, and had a unanimous approval for the MOU.
Good. Chairman, entertain a motion to approve the resolution as read.
So moved.
Motion made by Vice Chairman Capps. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Representative Bowden. Roll call, please.
Chairman Barrett,
Konigay.
Vice Chairman Capps,
Konigay.
Secretary Treasurer Trousdale, Konigay, Representative Bowden,
Konigay.
Representative Barrett,
Konigay.
Representative Whistler,
Konigay.
Representative Wesselhoff,
Konigay.
Representative Kraft,
Konigay.
Representative Schmidelkoffer,
Konigay.
Representative Slavin,
Konigay.
Representative Eva Marie Carney,
Konigay.
Representative Bursaw,
Konigay.
Representative Lambert,
Konigay.
Representative Johnson,
Konigay.
Representative Dave Carney.
Konigay.
15 in favor, 1 absent.
15 in favor, 1 absent. It is approved. Next are the minutes from the April 12th, 2019. If you could read those into the record, please.
Citizen Ottawa Nation Minutes Special Electronic Legislative Meeting, April 12th through 16th, 2019. Present, Chairman Barrett, Vice Chairman Capps, Secretary Treasurer Trousdale, Representatives Barrett, Bursaw, Bowden, Dave Carney, Eve Marie Carney, Johnson, Lambert, Payne, Schmidelkoffer, Slavin, Wesselhoff, Whistler. Absent was Representative Kraft. Chairman Barrett called the meeting to order at 12:05 p.m. on April 12th, 2019. First item of business, Ordinance 19-01-NR-OR-T40. Motion to approve Ordinance 19-01-NR-OR-T40 was made by Representative Bowden, second by Representative Eva Marie Carney. Motion passed 15 in favor, 1 absent. Second item of business, Resolution 19-36-NR. Motion to approve Resolution 19-36-NR was made by Representative Bowden, second by Representative Eve Marie Carney. The motion passed 15 in favor, 1 absent. Third item of business, Resolution 19-47-APP. Motion to approve Resolution 19-47-APP was made by Representative Bowden and seconded by Representative Eve Marie Carney. The motion passed 15 in favor, 1 absent. Fourth item of business, Resolution 19-48-JNPS. Motion to approve Resolution 19-48-JNPS was made by Representative Bowden, seconded by Representative Eva Marie Carney. The motion passed 15 in favor, 1 absent. Fifth item of business, Resolution 19-49-HHS. Motion to approve Resolution 19-49-HHS was made by Representative Bowden, seconded by Representative Eva Marie Carney. Motion passed 15 in favor, 1 absent. Sixth item of business, adjournment. There being no further business for the legislature, motion to adjourn was made by Representative Slavin, seconded by Representative Barrett. Motion passed 15 in favor, 1 absent. Meeting adjourned at 11:48 a.m. on April 16th, 2019.
Any additions, deletions, corrections, or discussion? Chairman, entertain a motion to approve the resolution. Read the minutes as read. Representative Carney. Is that a motion? Motion to approve?
Yes, sir.
Seconded by Representative Johnson. Roll call, please.
Chairman Barrett,
Konigay.
Vice Chairman Capps,
Konigay.
Secretary Treasurer Trousdale, Konigay, Representative Bowden,
Konigay.
Representative Barrett,
Konigay.
Representative Whistler,
Konigay.
Representative Wesselhoff,
Konigay.
Representative Kraft,
Abstain.
Representative Schmidelkoffer,
Konigay.
Representative Slavin,
Konigay.
Representative Eva Marie Carney,
Konigay.
Representative Bursaw,
Konigay.
Representative Lambert,
Konigay.
Representative Johnson.
Cornegay.
Representative Dave Carney.
Cornegay.
14 in favor, 1 absent, 1 abstention.
14 in favor, 1 absent, 1 abstention. It is approved. Next is Resolution 19-50, Legislative Committee on Enrollment. You can read that into the record, please.
Resolution 19-50-LCOE, a resolution for the conditional relinquishment of Christian Wayne Wolf. Whereas the Assistant Potawatomi Nation is a federally recognized tribe of American Indians with constitutional authority under Act of June 18, 1934, and the Oklahoma Indian Welfare Act of June 26, 1936, and whereas the Assistant Potawatomi Nation has sovereign powers that are inherent in tribal tradition, derived from a history of organized self-government since time immemorial, and recognized by treaties with the United States and in the Constitution of the United States, and whereas Article 4, Section 3 of the Assistant Potawatomi Nation Constitution provides for a separation of powers of the tribal government by the reservation and delegation of specific powers to other entities of the tribal government, and except for these specific limitations, all other general powers of government are embodied in the legislature's authority to enact legislation, transact business, and otherwise speak and act on behalf of the Assistant Potawatomi Nation in all matters on which the nation is empowered to act now or in the future. And whereas Christian Wayne Wolf, 89RD118777, has through formal request submitted a conditional relinquishment from the Assistant Potawatomi Nation conditioned upon his acceptance as a member of the absentee Shawnee Tribe of Oklahoma. And whereas if such enrollment is not approved, the relinquishment statement is not effective. And whereas if enrollment is approved, Christian Wayne Wolf may not reapply for membership with the Assistant Potawatomi Nation in accordance with the membership ordinance of the Assistant Potawatomi Nation, Section 2-1-1A. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the legislature of the Assistant Potawatomi Nation that a resolution for the conditional relinquishment of Christian Wayne Wolf from the Assistant Potawatomi Nation is hereby approved.
Are there any additions, deletions, corrections, or discussion? Chair would entertain a motion to approve the resolution as read. Motion made by Representative David Barrett. Is there a second? Representative Eva Marie Carney. Is the second. Roll call, please.
Chairman Barrett.
Cornegay.
Vice Chairman Capps.
Cornegay.
Secretary Treasurer Trousdale Konigay. Representative Bowden.
Cornegay.
Representative Barrett.
Cornegay.
Representative Whistler.
Cornegay.
Representative Westphal.
Cornegay.
Representative Kraft.
Cornegay.
Representative Smiddlecoffer.
Cornegay.
Representative Slavin.
Cornegay.
Representative Eva Marie Carney.
Montague,
Representative Bursall.
Cornegay.
Representative Lambert.
Montague,
Representative Johnson.
Cornegay.
Representative Dave Carney.
Cornegay.
15 in favor, 1 absent.
15 in favor, 1 absent. It is, the resolution is approved. Next is Resolution 1951, Legislative Committee on Enrollment. We read that into the record, please, Vice Chairman or Secretary Treasurer Trousdale.
Resolution 19-51-LCOE, a resolution for the conditional relinquishment of Jeffrey Ryan Peltier. First 3 whereas, the same as read in previous resolution. The 4th whereas, Nikki Lynn Peltier II, 89RD100220, has through formal request submitted a conditional relinquishment for his son, Jeffrey Ryan Peltier, 89RD117868, a minor from the Assistant Potawatomi Nation, conditioned upon his acceptance as a member of the Chickasaw Nation of Oklahoma. And whereas if such enrollment is not approved, the relinquishment statement is not effective. And whereas if enrollment is approved, Jeffrey Ryan Peltier may reapply for membership with the Assistant Potawatomi Nation after he has reached the age of 18 in accordance with membership ordinance of the Assistant Potawatomi Nation, Section 2-1-1B. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the legislature of the Assistant Potawatomi Nation that a resolution for the conditional relinquishment of Jeffrey Ryan Peltier from the Assistant Potawatomi Nation is hereby approved.
Are there any additions, deletions, corrections, or discussion? Chair entertain a motion to approve the resolution as read. Motion made by
I'm sorry.
Representative Kraft.
Can I change my vote on the previous resolution?
On the Wolf resolution.
Can I change that to no? Thank you, Chairman.
See, how do we do that? We've had a personal privilege request to bring 19-50-LCOE back on the table. It having been read, motion made and seconded, and a roll call vote made. We could make another roll call vote, please. Secretary Treasurer Trousdale.
Chairman Barrett,
Koenig.
Vice Chairman Capps,
Konigay.
Secretary Treasurer Trousdale, Koenig, Representative Bowden,
Koenig.
Representative Barrett,
Koenig.
Representative Whistler, Representative Wesselhoft,
Koenig.
Representative Kraft,
Cho.
Representative Schmidlkoffer,
Koenig.
Representative Slavin,
Koenig.
Representative Eva Marie Carney,
Konigay.
Representative Bursaw,
Konigay.
Representative Lambert,
Konigay.
Representative Johnson,
Koenig.
Representative Dave Carney,
Koenig.
14 in favor, 1 against, 1 absent.
14 in favor, 1 opposed, 1 absent. Resolution is approved. Next, resolution 1951 LCOE. I believe we have a motion on the, I'm asking for a motion. We don't have a motion. Chair, entertain a motion to approve. Representative Bowden. Is there a second? Second by Representative Lambert. Roll call, please.
Chairman Barrett,
Koenig.
Vice Chairman Capps,
Konigay.
Secretary Treasurer Trousdale, Koenig, Representative Bowden,
Koenig.
Representative Barrett,
Koenig.
Representative Whistler, Representative Wesselhoft,
Koenig.
Representative Kraft,
Koenig.
Representative Schmidlkoffer,
Koenig.
Representative Slavin,
Koenig.
Representative Eva Marie Carney,
Konigay.
Representative Bursaw,
Konigay.
Representative Lambert,
Konigay.
Representative Johnson,
Koenig.
Representative Dave Carney,
Koenig.
15 in favor, 1 absent.
15 in favor, 1 absent. It is approved. Next is Resolution 1953, Legislative Committee on Enrollment. You read that into the record, please.
Resolution 19-52-LCOE, a resolution for the conditional relinquishment of Luke Riley Peltier. First 3 whereas, or same as read in previous resolution. 4th whereas, Nikki Lynn Peltier II, 89RD100220, has through formal request submitted a conditional relinquishment for his son, Luke Riley Peltier, 89RD117869, a minor, from the Citizen Potawatomi Nation, conditioned upon his acceptance as a member of the Chickasaw Nation of Oklahoma. And whereas if such enrollment is not approved, the relinquishment statement is not effective. And whereas if enrollment is approved, Luke Riley Peltier may reapply for membership with the Citizen Potawatomi Nation after he has reached the age of 18 in accordance with membership ordinance of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation, Section 2-1-1B. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the legislature of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation that a resolution for the conditional relinquishment of Luke Riley Peltier from the Citizen Potawatomi Nation is hereby approved.
Are there any additions, deletions, corrections, or discussion? Chair would entertain a motion to approve the resolution as read. Motion made by Representative Whistler and seconded by Representative Bursaw. Roll call, please.
Chairman Barrett,
Koenig.
Vice Chairman Capps,
Konigay.
Secretary Treasurer Trousdale, Koenig, Representative Bowden,
Koenig.
Representative Barrett,
Koenig.
Representative Whistler, Representative Wesselhoft,
Koenig.
Representative Kraft,
Koenig.
Representative Schmidlkoffer,
Koenig.
Representative Slavin,
Koenig.
Representative Eva Marie Carney,
Konigay.
Representative Bursaw,
Konigay.
Representative Lambert,
Konigay.
Representative Johnson,
Koenig.
Representative Dave Carney,
Koenig.
15 in favor, 1 absent.
15 in favor, 1 absent. It is approved. God rest the soul of Kenneth Peltier, former Secretary Treasurer of the tribe. Those are his great-grandchildren. Next is Resolution 1953, Legislative Committee on Enrollment.
Resolution 19-53-LCOE, a resolution of enrollment into the membership of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation. First three whereas are the same as read in the previous resolution. Fourth whereas, the following people have requested enrollment in the tribe and meet the requirements for membership as set forth in Article 3 of the Constitution of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation. Cora Grace Baker, Jacob Elijah Cole, Coulter Daniel Sowers, Sophia Johanna Rogers, Grayson Bennett Stone, Calafia Luna Moore, Delilah Jean Mercer, Opal Zenoma Delanes, Clayton Delane James, Opal Zenoma Delonis, Clayton Delane James, Brooklyn Reese Wilson, Rachel Marie Butler Comelius, Mia K. Comelius, Connor Dwayne Comelius, Jared Allen Lane, Kathleen Ann Worokinski, Alexis Faith Pounds, Madeline Danielle Warren, Penelope Maria Whalen, Matthew Michael Bryce, Daniel Stephen Adams, Stephen Michael Fillingim II, Kaylin Mary Fillingim, Lauren Marie Fillingim, William Spencer Reed, Brennan Joseph Madden Jr., Kingston Lee Madden, Ashley Renee Jackson, Blakely Joe Yules, Tamis Thorne Neiman, Trevor Christopher Allen, Isabella Tovar Hope Fisher, Eliza Marie Fisher, Adam Lucas Fisher, Alvin Wayne Davis, Riley Lane Lyons, Levi James Matthew Lyons, Sophian Forsythia Dalton, Ashlyn Elizabeth Hudson, Elias Henry Garmendia, Kelly Marie Smith, Savannah Cherie Baldwin, Jack Charles Doby, Emma Isabel Doby, Rylan Elaine Gerhardt, Jacelyn Ann Gerhardt, Skylar Rianne Grimsley, Lakin Jean Grimsley, Jessica Dawn Sanders Deer, Alejandro Capriano Perez Lopez, Peyton Christine Henai, Braxton James Harrison, Evangeline Hope Chartier, Donnie Elton Cather, Marnalee Ann Tittle, Harper Quinn Stowers, Daphne Philippa Kennedy, Vincent Wayne Daly Jr., Cody Lee Daly, Tackham Avery Mole, Valentine Destiny Campbell, Cyrus Daniel Campbell, Kelsey Lynn Atkins, Alexander R.C. Tinney, Molly Mae Roberts, Harrison Ryan Turner, Peyton Harper Shoemaker, Brooklyn Dawn Harrison, Karma Cheyenne Stevens, Emberlyn Joe Quirk, Winry Raven Quirk, Juanita Danielle Lujan, Sebastian Elliott Halvorson, Maverick Brady Leclerc, Nyla Hope Marsh, Lance Edward Wilson, Elizabeth Marie Nolasco, Ethan Nicholas Trammell, Aaron Grace Maples, Corbin Ray Meister, Oliver Chase Woolison, Joa Alexander Baker, Donna Erlene Howard, Angel Love Knutson, Jalen James Booth, Berkeley James Stovall, Andrew Joel Hodge, Nicholas Ray Alves, Michaela LaRae Alves, Andrew Joseph Stephen Campbell de Vera, Katanya Leah Wall, Gracie Michelle Noctonic, Haley K. Noctonic, Emery Montilde Baptiste, Granger Lynn Howell, Jackson Colt Bourbonnais, Joy Tyler Smith, Tanya Ellen Myers, Faye James Giz Myers, Noah Edward Myers, Kinsley Renee Drew, Brody Wayne Brassfield, J.C. Witt Erickson, Caleb Edward Van, Elisa Christine Jaquez, Sadie Jo Navarre, Avery Grace Smith, Leela Rose Dorr, Ethan Alexander Evans, Andrew Christopher Evans, Jonah Scott Grimsley, Ethan Joseph Grimsley, Emery Ryan Grimsley, Sarah Eden Alderson, Anna Maria Alderson, Colt James Boltner, Ian Hudson Herschel, Tanner James Jordan, J.C. Dale Tompkins, Jenny Lee Weaver, Remington Brooks Kinco, Brooks Oliver Pope, Mackenzie J. Powda, Joshua Beeson Taylor, Charlotte Sue Guitar, Janice Elaine Flax, Corbin William Heacock, James Douglas Ganny, Porter William Ganny, Catherine Elizabeth Burton, Lincoln Allen Hayes, Levi Son Dorst, River Stephen Dorst, Andrea Paloma Haskell, Nancy Guadalupe Haskell, Charlotte Bowe Bishore, Baird Leggett Bishore, Levi Keith Hanks, Garrett Anthony Hanks, Michaela Rose Ford, Rosemary Lida Rain Zintek, Sophie Lynn Ari, Kinley Delora Coe, Michael Jean Morse III, Marcellus Grace Drake, Castle James Drake, Magdalene Eva Grace Fox, Sandra J. Fox, Mitchell Grayson Grimmitt, Sorsha Lynn Young, Evan Douglas Orr, Blake William Orr, Claire Marie Ledyard, Carolyn McKenzie Ledyard, Caleb Grant Ledyard, Trenton James Nakavinda, Mackenzie Nicole Moore, Jason Connor Hodge, Brooklyn Emma Lane, Jackson Allen Lane, Alexandra Jean Marie Toon, Rhett Maddox Bourbonnais, Case Howard Rankin, Dimrays Rose Castleman, Thomas Jack Sanderson, Jenna Page Sanderson, Tyler James Sanderson, Connor Reese Sanderson, August Amory Rodriguez, Sarah Christine Barnes, Zachary Abella, Haley Abella, Jackson Delane Cheatwood, Ava Grace Cheatwood, Meadow Lee Cheatwood, Carter K. Adams, Philip Dean Beasley, Jacob Lee Beasley, Joshua Michael Beasley, Thomas Costas Beasley, Anastasia Catherine Beasley, Anna Marie Eskridge, Corey Xavier Eskridge, Megan Colleen Lynch, Maverick Lyle Osterlund, Wade Justin Scrivener, Kaylin A. Miller, Ann Miller, Kaylee May Wright, Dante Michael Lancaster Jr., Olivia Sage Noel Bonner, Alexis Jordan Booth, Autumn Raylan Miller, Summer Lynn Miller, Scarlett Cassidy Ellison, Jane Lee Clark, Allison Teresa Clark, Rush Barrick Broadbent. Now therefore be it resolved by the legislature of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation that a resolution enrolling the above named persons as members of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation who have, by virtue of their written request for enrollment, agreed to the obligations of such membership and consented to the authority and jurisdiction of the government of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation and are now entitled to all benefits and privileges of the citizenship in the Citizen Potawatomi Nation as described by law and tribal custom is hereby approved.
Getting a good deal of feedback through the sound system. Does someone have another computer on, or is there external noises or something of that nature? I'm getting voices and rattling and noise. And I hear that talking. It's aliens. Very quick.
Stopped.
Okay.
They was thinking. You scared them off.
Is the chair entertain a motion to approve the resolution as read?
Chairman, I'd like to ask the question, how many members does this, have we gone over 35,000 yet?
We're about 34,600.
Oh, wow.
34
I'm
cents.
trying to get an exact count.
That's all right. That's good
Yeah,
enough.
we're at around 34.5.
Didn't assume that we're making the motion.
Yes.
I'll remake the motion.
Eva Marie made the motion. Is the second motion made by Representative Eva Marie Carney, second by Representative David Barrett. Roll call, please.
Chairman Barrett,
Koenig.
Vice Chairman Capps,
Koenig.
Secretary Treasurer Trausta, Koenig, Representative Bowden,
Koenig.
Representative Barrett,
Conagay.
Representative Whistler. Representative Whistler.
He's saying it.
I think you're muted.
Thank you. Representative Wesselhoft.
Conagay.
Representative Kraft.
Konigay.
Representative Schmidelkoffer.
Konigay.
Representative Slavin.
Konigay.
Representative Eva Marie Carney.
Konigay.
Representative Persall.
Conagay.
Representative Lambert.
Konigay.
Representative Johnson.
Conagay.
Representative Dave Carney.
Conagay.
15 in favor, 1 absent.
15 in favor, 1 absent. It is approved. Next is resolution 19-54-ED. If you could read that into the education, if you could read that into the record, please.
Resolution 19-54-ED, a resolution approving the System Pollination Center-based voucher and after-school program child care services application for funding under the fiscal year 2020 Child Care Development Fund offered to the United States Department of Health and Human Services through the Bureau of Indian Affairs 477 program. First three whereas are the same as read in previous resolution. The fourth whereas there exists a continuing need to provide center-based voucher and after-school program child care services for Native American children under the age of 13, as evidenced by the child count of the System Polynesian Tribal Service Area being approximately 20,275. And whereas the System Polynesian Tribal Service Area encompasses the children whose parents reside or work within the boundaries of the declared tribal service area, being defined as Potawatomi County, Cleveland County, and Oklahoma County. And whereas the Department of Health and Human Services, through the Bureau of Indian Affairs 477 program, provides grants for the ongoing support of center-based voucher and after-school program child care services, estimated to be $9,829,805, as provided by the CCDF daycare funds for fiscal year 2020. And whereas the center-based voucher and after-school program will provide Native American families with quality daycare facilities in which to leave their children. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the legislature of the System Polynesian that a resolution authorizing the System Polynesion's center-based voucher and after-school program child care services applications for funding under the fiscal year 2020 Child Care Development Funds is hereby approved. Now, therefore, be it further resolved that by act of this resolution, consistent with the separation of powers defined in the Constitution, if awarded, an appropriation of approximately $9,829,805 from the CCDF daycare funds fiscal year 2020 or other applicable accounts for the implementation, negotiation, operation, enforcement, procurement, settlement, and or completion of this contract, compact, regulation, or agreement by the tribal chairman or his designate is hereby authorized.
Are there any, Representative Carney?
Yes, thank you, Chairman. My eyes popped when I saw the number, this amount, which is quite high. And I had two questions relating to it. One was, is this a new use of the 477 authority to have the HHS funds come through here? And then my second question is there a thought as to how this is going to be allocated if awarded as among the center itself and vouchers and after-school programs? It's a lot of good money.
Just real truthfully, I can't help but think that is our aggregate 477 funds. I don't believe we're getting $9 million for the daycare.
We are getting $9 million for the daycare, and a lot of that is new money. And it was a surprise to us that we got that much. But for those of you who can remember, we were cut off by the state of Oklahoma voucher program when we first built here at headquarters. We were cut off from the voucher program from DHS, and we went to the United States DHS, which has even been better for us. And our people actually found that money. And so our 477 program is doing great. And you know that Margaret Zentek is instrumental to that because she has been to Washington, D.C., and she has negotiated for us. And it's really proven to benefit us. And I know, Eva, that you have witnessed that, I believe.
I have. I have. She's an incredible advocate.
We are operating 2 facilities also now. You know, we have the new Child Development Center out at the West Clinic, and we have the one here, which would account for
For a good portion
a
of
good
it.
portion of that. But I was just recalling the 1983 budget for childcare was $21,300.
Mhm.
So it's been a while.
And we are building a new storm shelter for that facility out at the Grand. So it will have its own storm shelter. We won't have to worry about getting those children off the hill and taking them down to the storm shelter at the Grand Casino, which is going to be really good. Part of this money will go for that.
Thank
Linda,
you.
our HHS 61 is 12.5 million for the 477. That's going to be voted on here later, Chairman. That was 477.
That's a stunning amount of money. That's a
It is.
surprise to me.
We actually have a stunning amount of money from them. That $9 million was new money.
By the way, the first turn down from the State Department of HHS came on the day we were going to open the daycare, and they decided not to allow us to receive funds from the state because we did not have approval from the state fire marshal and the start of our new facility. We went to the state fire marshal, and he determined that we were not in the state of Oklahoma and were not subject to the jurisdictional authority of his office. Now, of course, the Oklahoma Tax Commission took an entirely different perspective. So we fumed about it for a while, and then finally went over to the city of Tecumseh and got their fire marshal to come over and certify it. And we went to the feds, and we've never looked back on dealing with the state since then. And that was about the time that we stopped doing the, what was the program?
Voucher program?
No, the program where we had 4 staff for every child.
Early childhood.
Early childhood development. No, it wasn't early childhood development. It was Head Start. Head Start.
Start, that we didn't call it Head Start.
What do we call it? Yeah, it was early Head Start. And the feds came in and said that we had to have 3 staff for every child, I believe, in this room. And yeah, I was in this room. At any rate, I'm very happy that this level of funding is coming, and we'll do a great deal with it. Chair will entertain a motion to approve this resolution as read. So moved. Motion made by Representative Spindlecoffer, seconded by Representative Lambert. Roll call, please.
Chairman Barrett,
Okay.
Vice Chairman Capps,
Okay.
Secretary Treasurer Trousdale, Funigay, Representative Bowden,
Koenig.
Representative Barrett,
Conagay,
Representative Whistler, Representative Wesselhoff, Representative Kraft,
Koenig.
Representative Spindlecoffer, Representative Slavin, Representative Eva Marie Carney,
Okay.
Representative Bursaw,
Conagay,
Representative Lambert,
Koenig.
Representative Johnson,
Conagay,
Representative Dave Carney,
Conagay.
15 in favor, 1 absent.
15 in favor, 1 absent. It is approved. Next is Resolution 1956, the Natural Resources Committee. I'm sorry.
Resolution 19-55-NR, a resolution approving a fee to trust acquisition application to the Bureau of Indian Affairs and request for trust acquisition of the non-gaming on-reservation ball property. First 3 whereas are the same as read in the previous resolution. The 4th whereas, the Citizen Potawatomi Nation is making application to the Southern Plains Regional Office of the Bureau of Indian Affairs to request transfer of fee simple title to the United States of America in trust for the Sisseton-Potawatomi Nation. And whereas the legislature believes that increasing the tribal land base furthers the pursuit of tribal self-determination and allows future generations of tribal leaders to have the flexibility to use the land for the health, welfare, and sovereignty of the Sisseton-Potawatomi Nation. And whereas Section 5 of the Indian Reorganization Act of June 18, 1934 provides authority for the fee to trust acquisition, and whereas the property is on reservation or within the formal reservation boundaries of the Sisseton-Potawatomi Nation, legally described in Attachment A and listed in the Potawatomi County Treasurer's records as parcel ID number 0000-33-004-009-009-00 Ball Tract. And whereas the property was purchased with tribal funds for non-gaming use, and whereas the Sisseton-Potawatomi Nation owns the surface rights to the property in fee simple, the land is currently not under leased and has no improvements. There is ingress and egress for adequate traffic services. And whereas the current land use and the proposed land use is agricultural and is necessary to facilitate tribal self-determination and increasing the tribal land base, which furthers the pursuit of tribal self-determination and allows future generations of tribal leaders to have the flexibility to use the land for the health, welfare, and sovereignty of the Sisseton-Potawatomi Nation. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the legislature of the Sisseton-Potawatomi Nation that a resolution supporting the fee to trust acquisition application to the Southern Plains Regional Office for the Bureau of Indian Affairs and trust acquisition of the Ball property is hereby approved.
This is the 40 acres across Hardisty Road from the Knight Farm headquarters. It has the Brown Cemetery and Absentee Shawnee Cemetery of 1¼ acres sitting in the middle of it that Mr. Brown chose to put a trailer house on and over the graves and stayed there until his passing. We did not get the cemetery, so it's 38.75 acres out of the 40 acres that we have that we purchased. Chair would entertain a motion to approve the resolution as read.
So moved. Second.
Made by Representative Wesselhoff. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Representative Mark Johnson. Roll call, please.
Chairman Barrett,
Honeygate.
Vice Chairman Capps,
Donegay.
Secretary Treasurer Trousdale, Konigay, Representative Bowden,
Donegay.
Representative Barrett,
Conaghy.
Representative Whistler, Representative Wesselhoff,
Conaghy.
Representative Kraft,
Donegay.
Representative Schmidl-Cofer,
Honeygate.
Representative Slavin,
Honeygate.
Representative Eva Marie Carney,
Donegay.
Representative Bursall,
Conagay.
Representative Lambert,
Donegay.
Representative Johnson,
Conagay.
Representative Dave Carney,
Conagay.
15 in favor, 1 absent.
15 in favor, 1 absent. It is approved. Next is resolution 19-56-NR. You read that into the record, please.
Resolution 19-56-NR, a resolution approving a fee to trust acquisition application to the Bureau of Indian Affairs and a request for trust acquisition of the non-gaming on-reservation Jordan property. The first 6 whereas are the same as read in the previous resolution. The 7th whereas, the property is on reservation or within the former reservation boundaries of the Sisseton-Potawatomi Nation, legally described in Attachment A, and listed in the Potawatomi County Treasurer's records as parcel ID number 0000-30-004-0-032-00 Jordan Tract. And whereas the property was purchased with tribal funds for non-gaming use, and whereas the Sisseton-Potawatomi Nation owns the surface rights to the property in fee simple, and the land is currently not under lease but has improvements with adequate ingress and egress for traffic services, and whereas the current land use and proposed land use is agricultural and is necessary to facilitate tribal self-determination and increasing the tribal land base, which furthers the pursuit of tribal self-determination and allows future generations of tribal leaders to have the flexibility to use the land for the health, welfare, and sovereignty of the Sisseton-Potawatomi Nation. And whereas the Sisseton-Potawatomi Nation agrees to indemnify and hold harmless the United States, its agents, and employees against any lawsuits, loss, expense, and claim potentially filed against the tribe for any damages relating to asbestos and lead-based paint, if any, associated with the improvements located on the property described in Attachment A. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the legislature of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation that a resolution supporting the fee to trust acquisition application to the Southern Plains Regional Office of the Bureau of Indian Affairs and trust acquisition of the Jordan property is hereby approved.
This is not a very good copy.
Chairman, where is the Jordan property on the map?
If you take the big property that we bought straight across from the tribal headquarters, that parallels the railroad track, at the end of that piece of property, you made a hard left, there would be a long, narrow piece that went all the way to Gordon Cooper. It says Citizen Potawatomi Nation on it right now. It's 2 doors up from Woodman of the World. Before all these lots changed directions and north-south, it's the last one of the long, narrow strips, east-west.
And it is a narrow strip because there's just 1.14 acres in that land. It's contiguous to other land that we own in there. And that's the reason. Plus, it has a nice rent house on it that George Scott, he will take charge of the rent house for housing.
It's the lot's about 80 feet wide by about 400 and something feet long.
Commissioner?
Still works at the Oklahoma History.
That's what I thought.
She and her brother, I assume that her brother has relinquished ownership of that property or has passed away, one of the two. But she's the only name on that, the Missioner Home Place.
That'd be nice to have, but she's a tribal member.
Do what?
Isn't she a tribal member?
No.
No?
There used to be the dental lab there, that building on the right. But she also has Judith has a pretty good sized lot out on Gordon Cooper, straight west of her property. It'd be nice to buy that property.
Thank you.
Chairman, entertain a motion to approve the resolution as read.
So moved.
Motion made by Vice Chairman Linda Capps.
So maybe I'll get in here.
Second by Representative David Barrett. Roll call, please.
Chairman Barrett,
Again.
Vice Chairman Capps,
Conagay.
Secretary Treasurer Trouser, Konigay, Representative Bowden,
Konigay.
Representative Barrett,
Conagay.
Representative Whistler, Representative Wesselhoft,
Conagay.
Representative Kraft,
Konigay.
Representative Schmidlkoffer,
Again.
Representative Slavin,
Conagay.
Representative Eva Marie Carney,
Konagay.
Representative Bursaw,
Conagay.
Representative Lambert,
Konagay.
Representative Johnson, Representative Dave Carney, 15 in favor, 1 absent.
15 in favor, 1 absent. It is approved. Next is resolution 19-57-HHS. You read that into the record, please.
Resolution 19-57-HHS, a resolution approving a legal services agreement by and between the Citizen Potawatomi Nation and Fulmer Sill PLLC for representation in any litigation to address the opioid epidemic and authorizing the tribal chairman or his designee to execute the agreement. First 3 whereas are the same as read in previous resolution. The 4th whereas, the legislature of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation has an interest in providing for health, safety, and welfare of the member of the nation. And whereas the Citizen Potawatomi Nation has been battling problems relating to drug addiction among individuals served by tribal medical, health, law enforcement, safety, human, and other services for many years. And whereas the Citizen Potawatomi Nation acknowledge that opioids are creating an untenable problem, causing the loss of life and family while also diverting substantial tribal medical health, law enforcement, safety, human, and other services, and the hiring of legal counsel to seek legal redress for this problem would promote the health, safety, and welfare of the members of this nation. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the legislature of the Sisseton-Pawnee Nation that a resolution authorizing a legal services agreement between the Sisseton-Pawnee Nation and Fulmer Sill PLLC for representation in any and all litigation relating to the opioid epidemic and authorizing the tribal chairman or his designee to execute the agreement is hereby approved.
Any additions, deletions, corrections, or discussion? Chair would entertain a motion to approve the resolution.
I have a question.
Yes.
Reading the presentation, the 25% attorney fees, is that pretty normal for a class action lawsuit? I know in a lot of lawsuits it's 33 1/3, but for class action, I'm wondering.
Yeah, this is a flat 25. Oftentimes it steps up depending on how far you get into litigation. In other words, you settle pre-trial, it's 25, and if you go to trial, it's 33, and if you go to appeal, it's 40. It's just a flat 25, so it's a fairly good deal overall. And it doesn't limit the tribe's options about how far they can take the litigation.
Okay.
Were you all able to hear that?
No.
Okay. Well, go ahead and say that again.
Well, I was just saying that oftentimes in these agreements, you get a step up depending on how far you get in the litigation. As far as the percentage, it goes up. This is a flat 25, very standard in the industry.
Also, the BIA used to use the 25% number as what it would allow, and that may have influenced the number.
What was that?
The BIA.
The BIA used to use that 25% number in class action suits and other litigation involving tribes.
I'm sorry, you mean that the BIE had negotiated that on behalf of
No,
tribes?
but the BIA used to have regulations that use that 25% number.
Okay.
And Jim may have been aware of that when he was looking at it.
Got it.
Jim Sill is is a very experienced class action lawyer. He's had 3 or 4 home runs.
Yes.
That have been big ones.
That's what their firm does. That's strictly what they do is consumer class action litigation. And he is already, as he represented, involved with several clients in this particular litigation, both in the MDL and then in some of the local proceedings as well. And his firm is not just the 2 of them. They're a medium-sized firm that this is what they do.
I would also anticipate that this is an expensive litigation, and he's not putting costs on us or any expenses. If we win, he gets paid. If we don't win, he doesn't get paid.
And he has economies of scale as well by dealing with this particular litigation, this kind of litigation. So we'll have connections to economists and experts and other things that he could just frankly do more efficiently than we could do in-house.
Mm-hmm. George, you think that we have greater than a 75% chance of reclaiming?
I mean, it'd be hard to put a number on it, but I think given the way the wind is blowing right now, there's likely to be a recovery at some point. The assets of these companies are so enormous. This is looking like it'll be something like the asbestos type settlements, that it's just a question of maybe when and how much.
They let Purdue off with a slap on the wrist.
Yeah, and I thought they were pretty diplomatic in the way they described the way the state set up that settlement, but I want to be doubly clear. Anything the state commits to does not diminish the tribe's ability to assert its own claims against that company or any other company. Now, we may not have a right to get at any of that money, frankly, because it's tied up in that location for the most part. But that doesn't change the fact that the tribe still has claims against Purdue and Teva and all of these other companies. So,
I mean, giving the family a personal charitable contribution tax write-off for $75 million of it a 5-patient startup facility in Tulsa. The whole thing smells.
There's no accident why this was the first major settlement by any opioid manufacturer or distributor in the United States, because it was a very favorable deal to that company.
It's an inside deal.
That doesn't mean that. I thought you asked a very good question about how do we structure our compensation? How do we do the math?
Formula.
What's nice is that we get to decide. And if there's a deal that's offered to us that's in that vein, we are perfectly capable of saying no. Move forward.
Jim did a multi-million-dollar settlement on breast implants.
Oh, my.
Breast implants. Did a huge settlement on them.
He's done the Chrysler litigation. I think that was his firm.
Yeah.
They're local, but they're not small time.
They're in Oklahoma City?
Yeah, their office is in Oklahoma City, but Jim originally practiced in Shawnee. Now they've kind of moved on up.
He was Terry West's law partner.
I thought I recognized him when you. Okay. Thank you, Chairman.
I have one question.
Yes, Eva Marie Carney.
So my question is just about the familiarity of this law firm with Native nations, and if if they are already representing other Native nations in connection with this litigation.
They are.
Cherokees.
Yes.
They are. They're a member of their firm. Is lead counsel. I mean, probably on paper, in-house counsel for Cherokees are nominally the lead counsel in their litigation, but the litigation manager and the real straw stirring the drink is an attorney at their firm for the Cherokees. And I believe they have a couple of other tribes. I'm not sure, but they're representing right now cities, counties, and tribes, and we'll be added to that group. So again, I think we benefit by economies of scale there.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, thank you very much.
I was told by Charlie Laster, I think, that they had 8 tribes when I talked to him last, including the Cherokees.
Good. Mr. Chairman.
The motion to.
I move the legislation.
Motion by Representative Wesselhoff. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Representative Bowden. Roll call, please.
Chairman Barrett.
Koenig.
Vice Chairman Capps.
Koenig.
Secretary Treasurer Trounstill. Koenig. Representative Bowden.
Koenig.
Representative Barrett.
Koenig.
Representative Whistler. Representative Wesselhoff.
Koenig.
Representative Kraft.
Koenig.
Representative Spindlehofer.
Koenig.
Representative Slavin.
Koenig.
Representative Eva Marie Carney.
Okay.
Representative Johnson.
Koenig.
Representative Bursall.
Koenig.
Representative Lambert.
Koenig.
Representative Dave Carney.
Koenig.
15
in favor, 1 absent.
15 in favor, 1 absent. It is approved. Next is resolution 19-58- Health and Human Services. Can you read that into the record, please, Secretary Treasurer Trousdale?
Resolution 19-58-HHS, a resolution authorizing the Citizen Poly Nation's proposed application for funding through the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development under the fiscal year 2019 Indian Housing Block Grant Program for competitive grants. First 3 whereas, the same as read in previous resolution. The 4th whereas, United States Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD, is soliciting grant application of up to $5 million through the fiscal year 2019 Indian Housing Block Grant, IHBG, program for competitive grants. And whereas the Citizen Poly Nation is proposing the construction of new housing units in Shawnee, Oklahoma, and whereas a public meeting notice was published and a meeting was held on May 24th, 2019, to solicit comments from tribal and community members regarding the proposed submission of this housing development project. And whereas the project period for the proposed housing development is 5 years, with a total project cost of $6,666,666.67, of which $5 million, or 75%, is the federal share, and $1,666,666.67 is, or 25%, is tribal leverage, which is firmly committed by the Sisseton-Pawnee Nation. And now therefore be it resolved by the legislature of the Sisseton-Pawnee Nation that a resolution supporting and approving the Sisseton-Pawnee Nation's proposed housing development application for funding through the 2019 IHBG grant program is hereby approved. Now therefore be it further resolved that by act of this resolution and consistent with the separation of powers defined in the Constitution, if awarded, an appropriation of $6,666,666.67 from the fiscal year 2019 IHBG Competitive Grant Fund and other applicable accounts for the implementation, negotiation, operation, enforcement, procurement, settlement, and/or completion of this contract, compact, regulation, or agreement by the tribal chairman or his designate is hereby authorized.
This project is to add on approximately 10 to 15 units on Citizen Place, which is the project on 13th Street in Tecumseh, low-income housing that has been very successful. We have infrastructure in place, water and sewer, on the backside of the Tech Industrial Park that will most likely not be utilized by the industrial park. And so it's an ideal expansions area for that facility, and a good deal of the infrastructure is in place. If you'll recall, that project over there was a unique ground source heat pump geothermal, where we laid the lines horizontal and drilled from the back of a house lot underneath the lot, house, street, the lot across the street, and the house across the street, and came up in the back of the lot across the street, and moved down 50 feet and drilled another one, and laced the entire neighborhood with a common heat sink that all of the houses share. It was very successful. It was designed by Dr. Smith from Oklahoma State University in Stillwater, and we would probably retain that design feature on this expansion. Chairman, entertain a motion to approve the resolution as read. So moved. Motion made by Representative Smiddlecoffer, seconded by Representative John Bersall. Roll call, please.
Chairman Barrett.
Koenig.
Vice Chairman Capps.
Koenig.
Secretary Treasurer Trousdale. Koenig. Representative Bowden.
Koenig.
Representative Barrett.
Koenig.
Representative Whistler.
Koenig.
Representative Wesselhoft.
Koenig.
Representative Kraft.
Koenig.
Representative Smiddlecoffer.
Koenig.
Representative Slavin.
Koenig.
Representative Eva Marie Carney.
Koenig.
Representative Bersall.
Koenig.
Representative Lambert.
Koenig.
Representative Johnson.
Koenig.
Representative Dave Carney.
Koenig.
15 in favor, 1 absent.
15 in favor, 1 absent. It is approved. Next is Resolution 19-59-HHS. You read that into the record, please.
Resolution 19-59-HHS, a resolution supporting an increase in funding for the Sisseton-Pawnee Nation's Sanitation Facility Construction Program, Public Law 86-121, for new and like new homes offered through the United States Indian Health Service. First 3 whereas are the same as read in previous resolution. The 4th whereas, the Sisseton-Pawnee Nation is submitting a project scope entitled Sisseton-Pawnee Scattered Housing to the United States Indian Health Service, IHS, under the Office of Environmental Health Sanitation Facilities Construction Branch, under the authority of Public Law 86-121 for the construction of sanitation facilities. And whereas the IHS will provide the funds and the Sisseton-Pawnee Nation will design and construct the facilities under the provisions of the Self-Governance Compact that became effective in fiscal year 1998. The total cost to IHS for providing sanitation facilities to 50 eligible homes is $705,000. And whereas the Sisseton-Pawnee Nation fully supports the entire project for the construction of sanitation facilities as provided by the provisions of its self-governance compact with IHS/DHHS that became effective in fiscal year 1998, and the multi-year funding agreement 2018 through 2022 MFA, and with the IHS/DHHS executed by these parties and effective in April 2018 in connection with said compact. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the legislature of the Sisseton-Pawnee Nation that a resolution supporting an increase in funding offered by the Indian Health Services Sanitation Facilities Construction Program under Public Law 86-121 for new and like new homes is hereby approved. Now, therefore, be it further resolved that by act of this resolution and consistent with the separation of powers defined in the Constitution, if awarded, an appropriation of $705,000 from the Office of Environmental Health or other applicable accounts for the implementation, negotiation, operation, enforcement, procurement, settlement, and or completion of this contract, compact, regulation, or agreement by the tribal chairman or his designate is hereby authorized.
The Director of Environmental Programs, our sanitation program, is Curtis Silas, and his negotiating skill and the success that he has had in these new applications of higher tech septic tanks and effluent distribution systems has led to this $200,000 increase in funding, and we're proud of Silas's work. Chairman, entertain a motion to approve this resolution as read.
So moved.
Motion made by Representative David Barrett. Is there a second? Representative Dave Carney. Roll call, please.
Chairman Barrett.
Koenig.
Vice Chairman Capps.
Okay.
Secretary Treasurer Trousdale. Koenig. Representative Bowden.
Koenig.
Representative Barrett.
Koenig.
Representative Whistler. Representative Wesselhoft.
Koenig.
Representative Kraft.
Koenig.
Representative Schmidlkoffer.
Koenig.
Representative Slavin.
Koenig.
Representative Eva Marie Carney.
Koenig.
Representative Bursall.
Koenig.
Representative Lambert.
Koenig.
Representative Johnson.
Koenig.
Representative Dave Carney.
Let's see.
15 in favor, 1 absent.
15 in favor, 1 absent. It is approved. Should ever entertain a motion to approve the resolution as read. What?
Motion is approved.
Already have the motion.
Go 9.
Already voted. We're already ready to go. 1960 HHS.
Correct. Resolution 19-60-HHS, a resolution supporting an increase in funding for the System Polynesian Sanitation Facilities Construction Program, Public Law 86-121, for scattered existing homes offered through the United States Indian Health Service. The first 4 whereas are the same as read in a previous resolution. The 5th whereas, the IHS will provide the funds and System Potawatomi Nation will design and construct the facilities under the provision of the Self-Governance Compact that became effective in fiscal year 1998. The total cost to IHS for providing sanitation facilities to 36 eligible homes is $414,667, of which $410,520 is the federal share and $4,147 is the tribal share. And whereas the System Polynesian fully supports the entire project for the construction of sanitation facilities as provided by the provision of its self-governance compact with IHS/DHHS that became effective in fiscal year 1998, and the multi-year funding agreement 2018 through 2022 MFA with the IHS/DHHS executed by these parties and effective in April 2018 in connection with said compact. Now, therefore, be resolved by the legislature of the Polynesian Nation that a resolution supporting an increase in funding offered by the Indian Health Services for sanitation facilities construction program under Public Law 86-121 for new and like new homes is hereby approved. Now, therefore, be it further resolved that by act of this resolution and consistent with the separation of powers defined in the Constitution, if awarded, an appropriation of $705,000 from the Office of Environmental Health or other applicable accounts for the implementation, negotiation, operation, enforcement, procurement, settlement, and or completion of this contract, compact, regulation, or agreement by the tribal chairman or his designate is hereby authorized.
Excuse me 1 minute. Is there a coincidence that these are both 705?
705. I'm sorry.
116,
Yeah, the first one's
414.
second one's 36.
They're both 705,000.
No, the second one's 414.
That's what I thought.
It was the copy of previous resolution. Oh, the back pages.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what threw me. Okay, the back page is from 1959.
Right.
Okay, so this is also an increase in funding over the previous years. Chair will entertain a motion to approve 19-60-HH.
Question?
Yes.
Mr. Chairman,
You can read.
are we going to change the back page? We also need to expressly state that we are committing the 4,147 from our treasury, right?
Yes.
Do we have that back page?
I think she just,
I think she just went after it.
Okay.
Basically, these are scattered homes. You know, the difference between this resolution and the previous resolution was new and like new homes. These homes are scattered, and they might just be places that need to upgrade their sewer systems. And so there's a big difference between the funding for the first set and this last, because
This last is going to mostly be double wides.
a lot of them will be mobile homes, but
Manufactured housing.
we always have to give a small percentage of that, like this $4,000. But that helps our grant, because it helps our grant be more viable. Some tribes don't want to give that amount of money, and so their grants are not as likely to succeed. So,
Thank you.
Curtis Silas has been at this for a long time, and he's very good at it. So I think that we're in good hands. Now, he also, besides these two programs that we talked about just now, he also has funding that comes in every year, and he does other things. So this is not all that he does, right?
He does water wells and hooks up to the rural water system. He provides hookups, and he drills water wells. And I think he also puts in hard water systems for people that live down in the southern part of the county that have real high gypsum content and very difficult water. He puts in Culligan treatment systems.
Well, he does some of that, but for those houses down there, he has to put in a lot of lines to hook up to rural water system. So there's a lot of money involved in that program. It's a good program.
We'll have that second page in just a moment. We'll put that on the table for now and go on to read 1961 HHS, and then we'll come back to finish 1960 HHS. You could read the 1961 HHS into the record, please.
Resolution 19-61-HHS, a resolution pursuant to Public Law 102-477 regarding consolidation of employment, training, and education services. First three whereas, the same as read in the previous resolution. The fourth whereas, the Citizen Potawatomi Nation administers Department of Health and Human Services Child Care Development Block Grant and Community Services Block Grant, LIHEAP, DOJ, Reentry and Youth Grants, Bureau of Indian Affairs, Adult Vocational Training, Employment Assistant, Higher Education, Adult Education, General Assistance, Child Assistance, Assistance with Care of Custodial Adults, Burial Assistant, Emergency Assistance, and Johnson O'Malley programs, as well as the Department of Labor Workforce Investment Act and Family Preservation under Title 4B 1 and 2, and whereas Congress has enacted Public Law 102-477, which allows tribes to voluntarily consolidate various employment, training, and related programs, and whereas Public Law 102-477 permits the consolidation of funding received for these programs and allows greater flexibility in the department in the development, coordination, and operation of said programs, And whereas funding for the 477 program is formula driven and appropriated annually by the federal agencies, DOL, BIA, DOJ, and DHHS, and is estimated based on fiscal year 2018 actual funding to be approximately $12,500,000. Now therefore be it resolved by the legislature of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation that a resolution consolidating these employment and training and related programs and authorizing them to be administered in accordance with the nation's 102-477 plan is hereby approved. Now therefore be it further resolved that by act of this resolution and consistent with the separation of powers defined in the Constitution, if awarded, an appropriation of up to $12,500,000 from the 477 account or other applicable accounts for the implementation, negotiation, operation, enforcement, procurement, settlement, and or completion of this contract, compact, regulation, or agreement by the tribal chairman or his designate is hereby authorized.
Any discussion, additions, deletions? Chair would entertain a motion to approve the resolution as read.
So moved.
Motion made by Representative Spindlecoffer. Is there a second? Representative Eva Marie Carney. Now, the roll call, please.
Chairman Barrett.
Konigay.
Vice Chairman Capps.
Konigay.
Secretary Treasurer Troutsley Konigay. Representative Barrett.
Konigay.
Representative Whistler. Representative Wesselhoft.
Konigay.
Representative Kraft.
Konigay.
Representative Spindlecoffer.
Konigay.
Representative Slavin.
Konigay.
Representative Eva Marie Carney.
Konigay.
Representative Bursall.
Konigay.
Representative Lambert.
Konigay.
Representative Johnson.
Konigay.
Representative Dave Carney.
Konigay.
14 in favor, 2 absent.
14 in favor, 2 absent. It is approved. Chairman, any additions, deletions, corrections, or discussion? Chair would entertain a motion to approve the resolution as read.
Passed that already.
Say again?
We'll pass that already. Go to the next.
What you just read there?
No, just go to the 1962.
No, we skipped 60. We went to 61, didn't we?
We got 61. We just voted on it.
We just voted on. Now we're at 62. So
Back 60.
now we got to go back to 61.
Back to 60.
On 60.
I'm sorry, say that again.
We
Go back
tabled
to 60.
And we tabled 60. We just voted on 61.
Correct.
Okay, I'm getting befuddled here.
No, that's okay. All right, so we've got, I'll read in the second page of resolution 19-60-HHS, for the record. Whereas the Citizen Potawatomi Nation fully supports the entire project for the construction of sanitation facilities as provided by the provisions of its self-governance compact with IHS/DHHS that became effective in fiscal year 1998, and the multi-year funding agreement 2018 through 2022 MFA with the IHS/DHHS executed by these parties and effective in April 2018 in connection with said compact. Now therefore be it resolved by the legislature of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation that a resolution supporting an increase in funding offered by the Indian Health Services for Sanitation Facilities Construction Program under Public Law 86-121 for scattered existing homes is hereby approved. Now therefore be it further resolved that by act of this resolution and consistent with the separation of powers defined in the Constitution, if awarded, an appropriation of $414,667 from the Office of Environmental Health or other applicable accounts for the implementation, negotiation, operation, enforcement, procurement, settlement, and or completion of this contract, compact, regulation, or agreement by the tribal chairman or his designate is hereby authorized.
We accommodate the $4,100 travel share.
Yeah, I think we need to do that.
No, that's the total.
That's included in the total.
That's included in the total of 414.
So that would roll into the final count that's mentioned in the summation.
Right.
That would be in that last account, Eva Marie. I think in the language that says,
Yeah.
Office of Environmental Health.
Right, and this is with or without the,
Yeah, the total, if we pick it up, it's a split of 410, 520, and 4147 for the total of 414, 667.
okay, the 410, 520, and add the 4147. And that'll give you the 414, 667. And then on the second page, we pull the 414, 667 out of the account for the Office of Environmental Health.
Mhm.
So that,
Mr. Chairman, don't they usually want us to specify that we're going to be putting our limited share in there? I thought that's always in the now therefore be resolved paragraph.
I'm sorry?
This is exactly the same resolution as last year, except for the total.
Yeah,
So it would work?
This is.
yeah, we went with the same form we used last year.
All right, that's fine. As long as it works.
But you do have a point. So we need a vote on that, right?
Need a motion and vote.
And we need a motion on Resolution 1960-HHS for as read.
Someone.
Motion made by Representative Slavin. Is there a second?
Bob Whistler.
Representative Whistler. Roll call, please.
Chairman Barrett.
Konigay.
Vice Chairman Capps.
Konigay.
Secretary Treasurer Trousdale. Konigay. Representative Barrett.
Konigay.
Representative Whistler. Representative Wesselhoff.
Konigay.
Representative Kraft.
Okay.
Representative Smiddlehofer.
Konigay.
Representative Slavin.
Konigay.
Representative Eve Marie Carney.
Okay.
Representative Bursall.
Konigay.
Representative Lambert.
Konigay.
Representative Johnson. Representative Dave Carney.
Konigay.
14 in favor, 2 absent.
14 in favor, 2 absent. It is approved. Next is
62.
Resolution 1962-HHS. I'm trying to figure out why the LIHEAP money didn't roll over into the 12,000,005 of 477.
It doesn't. They didn't want to include this. I just might say we're getting $220,000 for this LIHEAP. And 3 years ago, we were getting 20,000. And therefore, that's another reason that Margaret and Carol do such a good job is their negotiating skills. We've gone from 20,000 to 220,000. So.
Well, something else I wanted to bring up to the legislature is LIHEAP money is how Representative young Mr. Kennedy in Boston built Citizens Energy, basically with LIHEAP funds and put together a futures operation with heating oil. And when we originally bought the tanks of the 110,000 gallon propane tank at the Grand Casino that we use in lieu of our natural gas system, and then we have 2 40,000 gallon tanks that we have set, we anticipated that at some point we would buy propane in July, June or July, in the hottest months when propane was at its lowest prices, hedge that purchase with a futures contract and store that fuel and then resell it or redistribute it to our tribal members in the wintertime. Of course, that would involve purchasing a distribution truck and a number of house-sized tanks in order to get that done. The way we're doing LIHEAP now is people walk in the door with their electric bill or their propane bill or their natural gas bill, and sometimes we pay it and sometimes we don't till we run out of money. We have the opportunity to use this money to build an enterprise that I think would save an awful lot of people a lot of money, because we have a large number of people out in the county who are burning propane. And we use a great deal of propane ourselves at the Grand Casino. And we are working on converting our smaller service vehicles to propane-fired engines. So I'd like to keep in mind the fact that if this continues at this level of appropriation, we might do something else with this money, because basically the LIHEAP program serves pretty much the same people year after year after year who come in to get their bills paid. And we have the opportunity to do something with it that's a little more creative. So we're at 19-62-HHS.
Correct. Resolution 19-62-HHS, a resolution approving the submission of the fiscal year 2020 Lower Income Home and Energy Assistance Program, LIHEAP, grant application to the Administration for Children and Families. It's our first for three whereas, the same as read in the previous resolution. The fourth whereas, the Citizen Polynation Public Law 102-477 program, Workforce and Social Services, assists eligible low-income clients with home energy costs by paying utility companies directly for energy consumption. And whereas, if funded, the Citizen Polynation will receive an estimated $220,000 in LIHEAP funds to deliver such assistance. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the legislature of the Citizen Polynation that a resolution supporting the submission of the fiscal year 2018 Lower Income and Energy Assistance Program, LIHEAP, grant application to the Administration for Children and Families is hereby approved. Now, therefore, be it further resolved that by act of this resolution and consistent with the separation of powers defined in the Constitution, if awarded, an appropriation up to $220,000 from the fiscal year 2020 LIHEAP fund or other applicable accounts for the implementation, negotiation, operation, enforcement, procurement, settlement, and or completion of this contract, compact, regulation, or agreement by the tribal chairman or his designate is hereby authorized.
Any additions, deletions, corrections, or discussion? Chair would entertain a motion to approve the resolution as read.
So moved.
Motion made by Representative Schmidelkoffer, seconded by Representative Lambert. Roll call, please.
Chairman Barrett.
Koenig.
Vice Chairman Capps.
Koenig.
Secretary Treasurer Trousdale. Koenig. Representative Barrett.
Okay.
Representative Whistler. Representative Wesselhoft.
Koenig.
Representative Kraft.
Koenig.
Representative Schmidelkoffer.
Koenig.
Representative Slavin.
Koenig.
Representative Eva Marie Carney.
Koenig.
Representative Bursall.
Koenig.
Representative Lambert.
Koenig.
Representative Johnson.
Koenig.
Representative Dave Carney.
Koenig.
14 in favor, 2 absent.
14 in favor, 2 absent. It is approved. Next is Resolution 19-63, EDNC. Read that into the record, please, Secretary Treasurer Troust.
Resolution 19-63-EDNC, a resolution approving the licensure of Fire Lake Travel Plaza as a potential gaming location within the Citizen Potawatomi Nation. First 3 whereas are the same as read in previous resolution. The fourth whereas, on May 30th, 2013, the legislature of the Citizen Polynation Nation approved ordinance number 13-04-RG-13-04-T23, amending the gaming ordinance of the Citizen Polynation Nation. And whereas Section 10 of the newly amended gaming ordinance states no Class 2 or Class 3 gaming shall be allowed at any location unless a separate license is issued by the Gaming Commission upon approval by the legislature for such a site. And whereas if approved, gaming devices may only be placed in an area of the facility where they shall be inaccessible to minors. Now therefore be it resolved by the legislature of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation that a resolution authorizing the licensure of Fire Lake Travel Plaza as a gaming site within the Citizen Potawatomi Nation is hereby approved.
Are there any additions, deletions, corrections, or discussion?
I have a question.
Yeah, I have.
Representative Wesselhoff.
Chairman Barrett, the inaccessible to minors, would that really apply at a travel plaza?
We've been separate, right?
Separate room?
That's my question. Where is that room? The Travel Plaza is crowded. Where would we have?
We'd have to build on to it.
Oh, okay. To the back?
But this is also in anticipation of if we ever move the Travel Plaza to the north side of the creek.
Right.
Okay.
That we'll build a gaming facility in it.
I'm gonna say, I couldn't see one game maybe where it's at now.
Truckers Casino.
There were some advantages of that in the past, but not so much anymore.
Yeah, the used to the issue of alcohol was related to the compact for alcohol was liquor by the drink, and other alcohol sales was related to the gaming compact. And so we were like Chicksaw's did. Every one of their convenience stores, they had a room with 4 or 5 slot machines in it. Any other discussion? Chair would entertain a motion to approve the resolution as read. Motion made by Representative Lambert. Is there a second? Second by Chairman Barrett. Roll call, please.
Chairman Barrett.
Okay.
Vice Chairman Capps.
Conagay.
Secretary Treasurer Trousdale. Konigay. Representative Barrett.
Okay.
Representative Whistler. Representative Wesselhoft.
Konigay.
Representative Kraft.
Conagay.
Representative Spindlecoffer.
Koenig.
Representative Slavin.
Okay.
Representative Eva Marie Carney.
Konagay.
Representative Bursall. Representative Johnson.
Conagay.
Representative Lambert.
Konagay.
Representative Dave Carney. 14 in favor, 2 absent.
14 in favor, 2 absent. It is approved. Next is 1964 JNPS. Read that into the record, please. Secretary Treasurer Trousdale.
Resolution 19-64-JNPS, a resolution approving Citizen Potawatomi Nation's grant application for funding under the United States Department of Homeland Security fiscal year 2019 Tribal Homeland Security Grant Program. First 3 whereas are same as read in the previous resolution. The 4th whereas, the Department of Homeland Security, DHS, and Federal Emergency Management Association, FEMA, through their Tribal Homeland Security Grant Program, THSGP, have announced availability of fiscal year 2019 funds to support the building, sustainment, and delivery of core capabilities to enable tribes to strengthen their capacity to prevent, protect against, mitigate, respond to, and recover from potential terrorist attacks and other hazards. And whereas the CPN proposes to seek up to $100,000 in fiscal year 2019 FEMA THSGP funding to acquire and upfit 2 vehicles to facilitate logistics and disaster response scenarios. These vehicles will enhance CPN Emergency Management's ability to place supplies and equipment when and where it is most needed to protect the Citizen Potawatomi Nation and to assist surrounding communities. And whereas there is no non-federal cash cost share required by the Citizen Potawatomi Nation. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the legislature of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation that a resolution authorizing and supporting the Citizen Potawatomi Nation's Federal Emergency Management Association application for funding under the fiscal year 2019 Tribal Homeland Security Grant Program is hereby approved. Now, therefore, be it further resolved that by act of this resolution and consistent with the separation of powers defined in the Constitution, if awarded, an appropriation of federal funds up to $100,000 from the fiscal year 2019 DHS, FEMA, Tribal Homeland Security Grant Program for the implementation, negotiation, operation, enforcement, procurement, settlement, and or completion of this contract, compact, regulation, or agreement by the tribal chairman or his designate is hereby authorized.
Oh, this one got by me. This supposed to be an ambulance.
Oh, not 2 vehicles, emergency vehicles.
Yeah, it's supposed to be an ambulance.
This was emergency money.
I know, it's supposed to be an ambulance.
Well, that can be separate. We can get other monies for ambulance.
These will just set parked like the damn fire truck. Chair will entertain any additions, deletions, corrections, or discussion.
Just a question. That figure seems kind of low to me.
It does to me too. And what we really need more than anything else is an ambulance.
They cost more than $50,000.
$100,000 will get you a used ambulance.
Yeah.
And hopefully we can amend this with FEMA and let us get an ambulance to assist in mitigate, respond to, and recover from potential terrorist attacks and other hazards. An ambulance would be something we can use for our emergency room facility.
Can we amend it now?
No, we'll have to wait till FEMA approves the language, but I'll table it or go ahead and get the money.
Well, I'd like to write for the money, since this may be a specific grant that we can get this money for and nothing else. Did Tim do this?
It came through self-governance. I don't know if Tim spoke with them.
So if it comes through self-governance, it's a good one.
Yeah, because you can't buy a decent 3/4 ton 4-wheel drive pickup truck for $50,000.
Right.
Well, they may be thinking of equipping a present truck that we have.
This is acquired.
Acquiring upfit though, so I don't know if they're.
Yeah, upfit.
Chair would entertain a motion to approve the resolution as read.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Eva.
Second by Representative Eva Marie Carney. Roll call, please.
Chairman Barrett,
Honeygay.
Vice Chairman Camp,
Conagay.
Secretary Treasurer Trousdale, Konigay, Representative Barrett,
Conde.
Representative Whistler, Representative Wesselhoff,
Quinnigan.
Representative Kraft,
Honeygo.
Representative Smiddlekoffer,
Honeygay.
Representative Slavin,
Honeygay.
Representative Eva Marie Carney,
Conagay.
Representative Bursall,
Conagay.
Representative Lambert,
Conagay.
Representative Johnson,
Conagay.
Representative Dave Carney,
Conagay.
14 in favor, 2 absent.
14 in favor, 2 absent. It is approved. Next is ordinance 1902 JNPS or T47. Ordinance T47. Can you read that into the record, please?
Ordinance 19-02-JNPS-00ROR-T47. An ordinance amending Title 47, Transportation, Chapter 1 of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation Tribal Code. First 3 whereas are the same as read in the previous resolution. Fourth whereas, the legislature of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation has an inherent interest in providing for the health, safety, and welfare of the members of the nation, and whereas the creation and amendment of the following regulations governing the registration of motor vehicles of members of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation will serve these aims. Now therefore be it ordained by the legislature of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation that Title 47, Chapter 1, Section 102, 103, 106, 107, 108, 111, and 113 of the Tribal Code of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation be amended to read as follows. You want to read all that in?
I would read just the all-terrain vehicle.
Okay.
And the effective date.
Okay. The change in letter C, all-terrain vehicle, means any motorized off-highway vehicles designed to travel on 3 or 4 wheels, having a seat designed to be straddled by the operator and handlebars for steering control, but it does not include a prototype of motorized off-highway all-terrain vehicles or other motorized off-highway all-terrain vehicles that is intended exclusively for research and development purposes unless the vehicle is offered for sale.
And 2 carries over to 3.
Right.
Effective May 30.
Effective as of May 30th, 2019, any additional persons on the title must be a family member of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation, Citizen Potawatomi tribal member in one of the following relationships: spouse, parent/guardian, child, grandparent, or grandchild. C, Citizen Potawatomi tribal members are limited to 7 motor vehicle tags under the ordinary registration process. In order to obtain 8 or more motor vehicle tags, the tag agency may require the tribal member to make a more detailed showing of the necessity of the issuance of the additional tags and the veracity of the asserted familial relationship between a tribal member and any non-tribal member co-titled holder. D, upon the transfer of title or taking out service of any motor vehicle registered with the Citizen Potawatomi Nation, the transferor/title holders are required to return the Citizen Potawatomi Nation tag to the tag agency. Should the transferees be eligible for a Citizen Potawatomi Nation tag, the tag agency will issue a new tag to the transferees. No new tag will issue to a transferor title holder until the tag is returned according to this subsection. E, the title and tag eligibility provisions of this title are cumulative. F, any person who disagrees with the tag agency's determination to decline to issue a tag or to add a person to a title, and if such person can demonstrate actual personal, direct, and readdressable injury or harm by determination of the tag agency, such person may challenge the determination in the Citizen Potawatomi Nation District Court according to the procedures of Title IX of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation Code. Such an action may be for declaratory relief only, and the complaint may not be awarded damages, sanctions, attorney fees, expenses, costs, or any other form of monetary relief against the Citizen Potawatomi Nation. Section 47-1-106, fee imposed on recreational vehicles and all-terrain vehicles for those persons who exercise the option of registration of a recreational vehicle or an all-terrain vehicle with the Citizen Potawatomi Nation. There is hereby levied an annual registration fee as set forth in the fee schedule in the tag agency. Section 47-1-107, fee imposed on trailers. For those persons who exercise the option of registration of a trailer with the Citizen Potawatomi Nation, there is hereby levied an annual registration fee as set forth in a fee schedule in the tag agency. Section 47-1-108, fee imposed on commercial vehicles. For those persons who exercise the option of registration of a commercial vehicle with the Citizen Potawatomi Nation, there is hereby levied an annual registration fee as set forth in a fee schedule in the tag agency. Section 47-1-111, certificates of title. B, in order to add persons to the title of any motor vehicle which is subject to a lien, the requestor must provide written authorization from the lien holder for the addition of any person to the title. Number 3 has been added to a single requestor is limited to the issuance of 2 duplicate titles to a single motor vehicle. Now, therefore, be it enacted by the legislature of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation that an ordinance amending Title 47, Chapter 1, Sections 102, 103, 107, 106, 108, 111, and 113 of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation Tribal Code is hereby approved. This ordinance shall become effective upon the adoption of the legislature of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation.
Might point out definition of vehicle now includes boat. Also, we're going to be doing some serious investigatory work on the number of license tags that are out to individuals. We have one lady in Southern Oklahoma with 22 tags. We're going to be tracking down folks and finding out what's going on.
Chairman, I'm sorry. I have a question on Section 103, Part E, the title and tag eligibility provision of this title are cumulative. Can you clarify that for me?
Section, what is it,
103, Section
It's not that complicated. It just means you have to meet all of those requirements in order to get a tag. Each one of those paragraphs is exclusive of the others.
Okay, so cumulative means over my lifetime, I could have, it doesn't mean the quantity, it just means it's applicable. Okay, I'm with you, George.
Actually, it also includes that the eligibility for the tag has to be done and the title has to be done. They're cumulative together.
I was thinking of quantity over a lifetime, but that's not what it means.
I might add about the tags. We met with the judge, we met with the attorney, and the director of the program. There's just some discrepancies in what we were doing for the tags. And so, you know, you could be in collusion. And if a friend got a Potawatomi tag for their friend, and that person didn't have title to that truck or that car, you know, if you're in collusion with each other, you could really do some damage there. It's dishonesty. And so we feel like we had some of that, and we're doing some investigation. So,
Chairman Barrett, just to clarify, section 103, C, the 7 motor vehicle tags, that's at any one time, right? Yes. Because it kind of reads like that's all you can ever have.
oh no,
No, it's one at a time.
at one time.
At one time, because I have, I think 3, 4, 5, 7.
I think we're all concerned about how many vehicles we have. That was
Kind of the trailers.
well,
Trailers, and so you're the target number then.
To be perfectly clear, you can have more than 7. It's just once you've reached that 7 threshold, tag agency is going to probably ask for more proof that it really is a family member that's holding the title, and you're not just running the scam staffs.
But if you have a recreational vehicle trailer, you have a pickup truck, you have a car, you have a boat, and you have a utility trailer, and you have a heavy duty or a dump truck, farm truck, I mean, you could end up with 7 with one of these fairly easily.
And if they're all held in your name, it's not going to be a problem because you're a tribal member and you're traveling.
Right.
The problem is we have folks that are coming in, we have non-tribal members on tags, and we have no way to determine whether they're actually related to the tribal member or if it's just a friend of a friend.
I was just wanting clarity there is all. I understand what the problem is, abuse. Chair, entertain a motion to approve the ordinance as amended. So moved. Motion made by Representative Middlecoffer, seconded by Representative Bursaw. Roll call, please.
Chairman Barrett.
Koenig.
Vice Chairman Capps.
Koenig.
Secretary Treasurer Charles Koenig. Representative Barrett.
Koenig.
Representative Whistler. Representative Wesselhoft.
Koenig.
Representative Kraft.
Koenig.
Representative Schmidlkoffer.
Koenig.
Representative Slavin.
Koenig.
Representative Eva Marie Carney.
Koenig.
Representative Bursaw.
Donaghy.
Representative Lambert.
Koenig.
Representative Johnson.
Donaghy.
Representative Dave Carney.
Donaghy.
14 in favor, 2 absent.
14 in favor, 2 absent. It is approved. Next is Resolution 19-65-APP, appropriations. If you could read that into the record, please.
Resolution 19-65-APP, a resolution authorizing the tribal chairman or his designee to open one or more interest-bearing cash sweep public fund accounts with Bank of Oklahoma. First 3 whereas are the same as read in the previous resolution. The 4th whereas, the Citizen Potawatomi Nation receives federal and state in the form of federal pass-throughs public funds for the benefit and operation of tribal programs that help satisfy federal government's treaty trust responsibilities to the nation and to Native Americans within the nation's service territory. And whereas the Citizen Potawatomi Nation may place these excess public funds in interest-bearing, insured, and collateralized accounts that meet all requirements for federal and state public funds and thereby earn interest on these public funds until said funds are needed to fulfill their intended contractual purposes. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the legislature of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation that a resolution authorizing the tribal chairman or his designee to open one or more interest-bearing cash sweep public fund accounts with Bank of Oklahoma, provided that these accounts meet all the requirements for federal and state public funds, is hereby approved.
Any additions, deletions, corrections, or discussion?
I have a question.
Yes.
I guess the obvious question is, why not our bank, and which bank has the best interest rate?
Bank of Oklahoma has an interest rate more than 5 times what First National has.
And our bank doesn't sweep accounts. They don't sweep accounts at night. That's my
Yeah,
understanding.
Where's the money going now?
It's in, we have a lot of money deposited in FNB already,
And where?
diversified.
Yeah, we have about $30 million at First National. We're diversifying that out because they really can't, they don't, if they close the business, they don't sweep it into an interest-bearing account at night and then put it back into the account in the daytime, which is what this account does. It's called a sweep account, so you really get 12 to 13 hours of interest each day on, and at some point, I mean, when the self-governance money comes in, I mean, we're sitting on a chunk of, $60-70 million.
The other part I don't understand is this collateralized accounts. I understand insurance, but how can Bank of Oklahoma collateralize our money?
They have to put up certificates of deposit and federal securities to guarantee that we get our money.
Where do they get that money from?
From their own reserves.
We have to do the same. Everybody needs to understand that if an individual or a business puts in over $250,000 in an account,
Right.
It is not insured. It's only insured up to $250,000 by the FDIC. Any government money over that has to be collateralized by that bank for that holder, and it has to be collateralized by securities, and they do that in the form of a pledge. So we have to have all of our money collateralized, federal money, over $250,000 in each account.
I understand that, but where does that collateralized money come from? From the bank?
From their
the
investment.
bank, from
Their
First
portfolio.
They can't take it from individual accounts.
No, but they have an investment portfolio in their capital account.
Okay.
There's a whole bunch of Fannie Mae bonds and all kinds of.
Yeah,
All kinds of
that's different from what this is.
That's part of their equity. Securities is part of a bank's equities. And so they have to collateralize those against government money.
And also Bank of Oklahoma can go to the Fed window for zero.
Yeah.
And the Fed window will give them enough money to collateralize almost what we have.
And they'll actually go out. They have the ability to go out. It's coordinated by a bank called New York Mellon, and they're the agent, and they'll put those monies on deposits for people like we're suggesting in a lot of participating banks with a limit of $250,000 in each bank.
And why are we just now doing this?
Well, Bank of Oklahoma just brought this program to us.
And we are getting more federal funds. For instance, we have a recurring $9 million with our clinics. We've got this $9 million from child care that's going to be recurring at least for the next 3 years. And so we're getting more federal funds. The bank right now has $119 million of our money. And the lion's share of that is government money. So all that has to be collateralized. It's just my way of thinking that we should have had another banking relationship a long time ago. We chose not to do that. But I think we should have had that a long time ago, and this would have been solved. We would have already had a bank. But Bank of Oklahoma has our loan for the Grand Casino. So we have a relationship with them, and we feel real good about working with them. And so we're going to sweep some money. This money will never go into our bank. The Fed funds will come straight down into Bank of Oklahoma.
My last question, are you projecting how much interest we're going to make by making this transaction?
We're going to make quite a bit more than we make now. And so really and truly, you might say it's a pilot project. If we want our money back, we can get it back within 2 days. So,
And that's determined by how we have to draw the monies down. We don't have a specific timeline on drawing the monies down out of that account. So we will earn a higher rate of interest between now and those many dates. But we don't have an exact timeline, so we can't figure it. All we know is it's a much greater interest than we're making at First National.
The other thing with First National is the bank's just not big enough to loan out as much money as we have in it. So, we're 40%. Basically, we're 40% loaned out. And we don't have enough demand in our banks to loan all that money out. So we're better off putting that money to work in one of these absolutely safe accounts than we are letting it sit in a demand deposit at First National.
Okay.
it's good. I'm excited to see how much money we're going to make. Now, keep in mind that interest money that we make will stay with that program, whether it's health money or whether it's Indian Child Welfare money or whatever account it is. That earnings will stay with the program. It stays with that amount.
Yeah, that, yeah.
1.7.
We'd be in trouble if we didn't.
It's changed as prime has gone up, that rate has changed.
So what is it currently?
I don't have a quote on the current one.
Because I believe it was 175. Huh?
It's somewhere around
That's what they do on their CD. Right?
Yeah, I believe the interest rate is 1.75 right now.
At our bank?
No, on Bank of Oklahoma.
Okay.
On the sweep accounts.
Okay. 1 point what?
1.75. Any other discussion? Chair would entertain a motion to approve the resolution as read. Motion made by Representative Wesselhoff. Seconded by Representative David Barrett. Roll call, please.
Chairman Barrett.
Koenig.
Vice Chairman Capps.
Koenig.
Secretary Treasurer Trousdale Koenig. Representative Barrett.
Koenig.
Representative Whistler. Representative Wesselhoff.
Koenig.
Representative Kraft.
Koenig.
Representative Schmidlkoffer.
Koenig.
Representative Slavin.
Koenig.
Representative Eva Marie Carney.
Koenig.
Representative Bursaw.
Koenig.
Representative Lambert.
Koenig.
Representative Johnson.
Koenig.
Representative Dave Carney. 14 in favor, 2 absent.
14 in favor, 2 absent. It is approved. Being no other business on the agenda, the chair would entertain a motion. Yes.
Thank you.
Marie Carney.
I did have some other business, which is to bring up again from our last meeting, the issue of potentially providing some additional funding to the Waxahachie Nation to assist with the gathering. I had sent an update to the executive team about this earlier in the week. And the information I received was that they are at the 60% mark in terms of raising the funds that they need to put on the gathering. And that each of the nations that will be attending have come in at the standard 10,000 K level, except for Forest County, which has given $50,000.
Oh my.
So I would propose that we consider upping our contribution, maybe to the $20,000 level from the $10,000 level, and that then Waxahachie would be publicizing that on Facebook and other things that they've been doing, which might lead some of the other nations to increase their funding as well.
So they basically have 110,000 now?
maybe even 120.
They have $120,000 now.
Yeah, I mean, they sent their complete budget. Maybe this is something that we could ventilate and over email, but I did want to raise it because I did get the information, as we had talked about, and it does look as if they would benefit from some additional funding if that's something we would be able to do for them.
Well, I hope that this is an expenses issue and not a facilities issue.
You can look at they have a budget update that's attached, so maybe it might be best to
Their budget looked
look.
reasonable.
Yeah. All right. We can't do this as an appropriation. We'll have to do this.
Did we have a resolution?
We can do this by email and decide if we think that we need to donate an additional $10,000. Well, we can certainly do that by email.
Okay, resolution 19-67, APP, a resolution to increase the contribution to the Wissahickon Nation for the Gathering of the Nations by $10,000 for a total of $20,000 and all the appropriate clauses. Is there a motion from the floor for that?
I'll make a motion.
Motion made by Vice Chairman Linda Capps, seconded by Representative Eve Marie Carney. Roll call, please.
Chairman Barrett.
Koenig.
Vice Chairman Capps.
Koenig.
Secretary Treasurer Trounsel Koenig. Representative Barrett.
Koenig.
Representative Whistler.
I had a question on this before we got into the vote. Yeah, I am of the opinion that in our last meeting that we brought this same thing forward with exception to the motion that we had at that time that allowed us to do this. I don't think that, I'm going to Koenig on this, but I thought we had already brought this forward to the point that we were able to amend that resolution that we had before. Anyway, Koenig.
I don't recall that, but we can check. Representative Wesselhoff.
Koenig.
Representative Kraft.
Koenig.
Representative Schmidl-Coffer.
Koenig.
Representative Slavin.
Koenig.
Representative Eve Marie Carney.
Koenig.
Representative Bursaw.
Koenig.
Representative Lambert.
Koenig.
Representative Johnson.
Koenig.
Representative Dave Carney.
Koenig.
14 in favor, 2 absent.
14 in favor, 2 absent. It is approved. There being no other business.
Mr. Chairman. Sorry, can you give us a brief update on the business relationship with this Chinese firm, tire manufacturing? Is there any developments there?
We did get some pleasant exchange of correspondence. The deal's not dead, but it is not moving along as quickly as we would like. I think that this has something to do with the President of the United States' behavior with the Chinese. But that being said, I have no idea how to predict that. But my guess is that they're going to do the deal. That was my last conversation with Bob Carruthers, was that he got a positive response from the
Family that came here.
the family that
Vacationed here.
that came in vacations here. So yeah, the deal's still on. We're just Right now, I think they're just waiting. They had to finish a tire plant in Serbia. And when they finished the tire plant in Serbia, we were next. And the good part about the last correspondence we had with Bob was that Volkswagen had put in a very good word for us, that they wanted it built here rather than in Tennessee, because they like it better here than in Tennessee.
Maybe we can have a better update at festival time, when we have our meeting after the festival. Maybe we can have
the Canadian pipe deal is literally all but done. So we are going to be going ahead with that one. They've apparently completed their collateralization agreement, and they've raised the money, the $4 million, and so we're off and rolling on that one.
I've heard some rumors about the bowling alley. Can you talk about that? If it's under a new lease or how it's doing, or just an update on that?
We have not been making money on the bowling center for a long. Well, the last time we were making money on the bowling center was when Chris Skillings was the director. And so we had been contemplating doing some different things with our enterprises to make money instead of go into the hole so much. So we are going to lease out the bowling center, and Chris Skillings is going to lease it out. He's certainly not going to run it. He's going to have a director, or he will have a director to run it. We are no longer going to be paying salaries there. We will not be paying benefits there. It is a management contract, and he will maintain the bowling center. It's a pilot project for us. We really haven't done that outside of doing the restaurants years ago up at the golf course. So we're looking forward to seeing how we can do. I believe that we will make we're losing $200,000. So I hope that we will make probably double that. And so, because we won't be losing 200 and some, and we'll be making 200 and some. So we're just going to have to see how it works out. But we're excited about it. And we have found jobs for all of those people who were at the bowling center. If they want to stay, they are welcome to stay, but we found jobs for those who want to stay with the nation. So
how can he run the business better than we can?
Well, Lisa, because we have to pay benefits to the people. And when you run a restaurant downtown, I guarantee you, you're not paying benefits to those people. That's how they can be more competitive than we are with our restaurants even. And I mean, it's age old. We cannot do as well as the other places can locally, same kind of places, because of the benefits. So we are paying everybody that works there, paying their 401k, giving them vacation and days off. They don't do some of that in private sector. And so it's a pilot project that we've got, and we're going to see how it works. By golly, I'm excited about it. It really and truly, it's long overdue. We should have done some of this. This is our first time, but we should have been doing some of this along. So we'll see how it works.
And if it works, then we may do that with some of our other enterprises, like the golf course or something.
Well, the golf course.
The golf course.
Of course, he would say not the golf course. I would say perhaps the ball fields. It is hard to be competitive in that business too. I'm kind of looking at Choctaw, the city of Choctaw. They are taking back their ball fields and taking back their golf course with their new management he came about a year and a half ago. And I can't wait to see how that's going to work for a couple of years. They had it leased out. And so now they think that they're losing out on a lot of money and they're going to take it back over. And I don't think they're going to make the money, but they've had both of those leased out. The city of Choctaw. Ed Brown is their, Ed Brown came from the Pentagon to the city managership of Shawnee. And so he had some big ideas and they're taking theirs back over. It's just hard to make it whenever you have to pay out the benefits. It's just like Steve DeGraffenreid. He used to be our general manager at Grand Casino and he runs restaurants. And, you know, he pays the salaries that he pays for his waiters and his waitresses. He probably pays less than $5 an hour and they get to keep their tips. Well, we can't do that. We have to do the same across the board because of our employees. That's the law. We have to do the same across the board. So I can't give benefits to Chuck and not give benefits to Jamie. Cannot do that. So, or I should say offer benefits. And we're going to do this project and I'm excited about it.
What if we had moved the old Fire Lake into that space? Would that not have made more money, a better use of that space?
The old Fire Lake.
The first casino. The little one over here. Would it not fit in the bowling alley and just change the business model?
It wasn't built. No.
No, we will eventually have to build a new building for Fire Lake Entertainment.
And the reason the mechanics in the room can tell you, you have to lay out all that electrical and all that mechanical when you build a casino. You know, there's so much electric and everything involved.
In the bowling center, the only thing that's air conditioned is the place where people are. The alleys and everything behind the alleys is not air conditioned.
Linda, on the maintenance, who is going to be responsible for keeping up the lanes?
Well, he is responsible for all of that.
For all of that, that's included.
So we'll see how it goes. We have a 90-day agreement. I mean, each of us could get out within 90 days. And so, as I say, I'm excited. We just sit and lose money on a project, and the ball fields is real close to the same thing. The thing I can say about the ball fields, it brings the people in here.
It does, and it serves the community too. So.
Yes, but anyway, we'll see.
Ball fields are good PR.
Yeah.
We need enterprises that makes money, not PR. not PR.
I mean, we can all be excited about this and watch real closely how this works. Because, you know, if we can see in 90 days it's not going to work, well, we certainly don't want to continue on.
Right.
But I am very excited about it. So.
I know the Pimas in Arizona have everything leased out.
Well, that's right, because
they do.
That's the way for them to make money. Instead, you know, there's
a complaint. You can't take it to them. You've got to go to the business person.
If we had not been able to offer jobs to people who are working there, if we could not have found them jobs, I don't know that we would do this. But have the ability to find people jobs if they want to stay and work for the nation. So I think it's a win-win. We'll just have to see. I don't mind if we report every few months, you know, how we're doing, because I think it's exciting.
It does release you of a lot of liability too.
And to be clear, what the vice chairman is saying, we found those people jobs. Those were vacant positions. We did not create jobs.
No, we did not create jobs.
People.
No. And that's another thing. Mr. Skillings will have to pay for the liability insurance. So we are not going to be responsible for that. And another way that we can make money. So let's be happy for it. Let's be happy for us.
I'm all for making money. Money is a good thing.
We'll see.
If it puts a plus on our sheets,
Y'all will be watching for that when.
Not only that, it erases a minus.
And that takes place June 17th. And we have a transition period, and we're going to do inventory. And any supplies that we own, that we have there, Chris is going to have to pay for those. So we've got some work to do before the end of the 17th.
Thank you.
Well, nobody wants to go home. Why don't we hang around and talk?
Motion.
I'll make that motion.
There's a motion to adjourn in the second. All in favor, roll call.
Chairman Barrett,
Koenig,
Vice Chairman Capps, Secretary Treasurer Trouser, Koenig, Representative Barrett,
Koenig.
Representative Whistler,
Okay.
Representative Wesselhoff,
Koenig,
Representative Kraft,
Koenig.
Representative Sminkoffer,
Koenig,
Representative Slavin,
Koenig,
Representative Eva Marie Carney,
oh, that's yours.
No, I'd lost it.
Representative Bursaw,
Koenig.
Representative Lambert,
Funny game.
Representative Johnson,
Koenig.
Representative Dave Carney. 14 in favor, 2 absent.
14 in favor, 2 absent. We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone. Chris, are you still here?
Bring the back to me.